Hey guys, Akio Murasaki here. Today I'm gonna be playing Stella Sora. I want to say for the first time, not for the first time, probably for the second or third time, but it's going to be my first impressions with the game, more or less, and also kind of like a bit of a walkthrough with all the features the game has to offer, and of course the gameplay as usual. And just to let you know, guys, I'm running the game natively on my console. I have it tethered right now via Wi-Fi, so there might be some small delays now and then, but otherwise it should be working fairly smoothly. But also do notice the resolution, that is the native resolution of my console. But okay, let's get started. First thing I want to say straight away, notice the loading screen here, the logging screen. It's almost identical, or vibe-wise and design-wise, to the one in Blue Archive. Probably unsurprisingly, since Yulstar is the publisher of Blue Archive for China and Japan. For Korea and Global, that was Nexon, so maybe some of you guys are more familiar with Nexon in this case. I'm personally more familiar with Yulstar, but this is probably one of their few, I would say, or the ones at least I know, standalone games that are developed and published themselves. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, it's working, it is working. Okay. So here. Wait a sec. I'm gonna shrink myself a little bit, since I see that I am actually blocking quite a bit here. So let me shrink myself a little bit here. Alrighty. Just gonna cover the important bits. No, I'm kidding, of course. Alright, let me put myself here a little bit. Okay. So let's go for the main menu. First thing I want to say about the main menu is that it's probably one of the more readable main menus I've seen in gacha games in general. It is, again, kind of vaguely similar to Blue Archive, with the overall kind of design direction, I would say, and with like the overall cuteness as well. And the other thing is that sound has a lot to do in Stella Sora. Like sound rhythm is kind of like one of the main themes in the game. So you're gonna hear a lot of great music and a lot of great tracks. But you're also going to see like a lot of bits that are sound related, like the discs here, for instance. The transition screens are also absolutely amazing, but let me just go for a couple of kind of small things here. So yeah, so we have the main menu. Bottom right here, we have something very similar to Blue Archive, but we used to have this in the top right corner here. That was like the latest event announcements and everything. For switching characters, in the main menu, it's kind of very similar to Blue Archive. Again, I'm just gonna keep on repeating Blue Archive all the time. It's very similar. It's kind of here. You can then, of course, I think you can go into kind of like full screenshot mode where you remove all of the UI elements, and then we go back. Okay, what else there? Yeah, we of course can cycle for the characters, and do notice that all of them have slightly different backgrounds. The backgrounds are static. However, all of the characters have complete live 2D. That's a little different than Blue Archive, where we only had static PNGs in the game. Here, all of the characters have beautifully animated live 2D models. And of course, all of them are voiced as well, unsurprisingly. So here's my kind of small roster of characters that I pulled. We're of course gonna go for the pulls as well. So yeah, there's going to be an event coming up. I think tomorrow is a summer/swimsuit event. I'm very excited for it. But I think I think there's like what do we have here? First track is of course the standard kind of like login bonus guide. As you can see here, I've not been logging in very diligently, only 4 out of 7 days. What else do we have? We have, of course, the star gifts. I don't remember seeing this when I first started the game, and as you can see, it only counts 2 days, not 4 days yet. And then we of course have the trial game for one of the new characters, Chitose, who is currently on the banner. Well, let's just go ahead and try it out. Maybe we can try out what we have here. Main build, support build. I'm not super familiar, but let's just get started with this one. I'm also gonna show you, of course, the gameplay. So we have the proposed team here. We have Teresa, we have Chitose, and we have Iris. One thing I kind of want to really point out here is that some of the characters in the global version and the non-Japanese version of the game, they do have different names yet. I honestly have no idea why they did that, but it's very confusing and it is going to be extra confusing when we talk to our fellow players who play the Japanese version of the game, who, at least to my knowledge right now, it was released 2 days after global. It was basically, so the client, the game client was ready, but they opened the server 2 days after global. So the good thing, we should be on track with what they are getting. But then the bad thing is that some of the character names are all different, I think for 2 or 3 characters so far. So we're gonna be running into quite a bit confusion, like with Pokemon, for instance. We're gonna be like, oh, you guys call her this and we call her that. We're gonna be seeing quite a bit of that. But okay, let's get started with some gameplay here. Loading. All right, I'm gonna grab straight away. What I really love about Stella Sora so far is that it automatically detected the joypads on my console. Like automatically, all of the keys, everything has been detected automatically. And so here we have navigation. It's kind of like this isometric view, hack and slash, and kind of slash shoot 'em up really, because it has a lot of like shoot 'em up elements, and also kind of dungeon crawling and vampire survivor, I would say, elements. The basic attack is automatic. The skill is triggered, as you can see here with X. And we also have the ultimate, which currently is not loaded. However, since you saw before, it's a team of 3, right? So you have the main vanguard or attacker character who does the damage, and then you have the additional support characters who either give buffs or add like AoE attacks, for instance. And they too, as far as I know, they too have ultimates, as you can see here. They've been charging here on LT and RT respectively for both of the support characters. But yeah, that's basically just it's basically just like a demo with melee characters, because there are both melee and ranged attackers. And the gameplay looks a little different because, as you can see here, Chitose, for instance, she does slow down a little bit when executing her attacks, and she moves during these attacks as well. So navigation is a little more difficult than if you would have like a fully ranged character, for instance. Dodging, this is with A in this case. I think there is also something like a perfect dodge that gives you some bonuses. What? Alright. Cast Chitose's ultimate. Okay, so we have the ultimate ready. I'm gonna show you the ultimates of the other characters first. Oh, sorry. There it is. This Teresa. And you, for instance, have, when you cast the ultimate, you have a very similar animation to the skill animations in Blue Archive. Obviously, the graphics are way better, although I have to say that the model designs themselves, they're no longer chibis, so that's a good thing. If you don't really like chibi characters, like we had these 3D chibis in Blue Archive, then please, might just be the game for you in that case. I didn't mind them, to be honest. I felt they were pretty cute, very sweet. And now we're going to execute, just to complete this trial, we're going to execute Chitose's ultimate. Alright, let's do this. Oh, sorry, B. My bad. Alright, there it is. And done. As far as I know, is it done? Ah, yes, sir. We still need to finish off a couple of other guys here. And we finally get to fight the boss. We're just gonna spam with the ultimate just to be done with it. Oh, it sure is taking a while, huh? Also, when it comes to character personalities, you might see some overlaps with Blue Archive. And as you can see here, the penguin boss, like, again, Blue Archive vibes. I think someone was in general commenting that the story is very, very similar to Blue Archive. With like the teacher and, you know, guiding students and everything. I honestly wouldn't really say so. I'm not gonna spoil the story for you. I'm gonna let you guys experience it for yourselves. But I personally did not think it's maybe vaguely similar to Blue Archive, but otherwise I wouldn't really say it's exactly the same. So, all right, so we got some rewards here. We got money. Look at this. That's a lot of monies. All right. Now we're gonna do some pulls. I'm gonna show you the characters I have currently. Alright, so maybe actually discs. What are discs? At least to my knowledge, so far discs are very, very similar to the artifact cards in Honkai Star Rail, for instance. I don't exactly remember what the name of these are, but I do remember they were cards, artifacts, I guess. So yeah, they're kind of very similar. As you can see here, they're grouped into elements. Like you, for instance, have fire here, which is called Ignis. And that one supports all of the fire type trackers, fire type characters. And you also have Arrow, for instance, here. It's called Ventus. Okay, never mind. So but basically air. Then you have light here. That's for the looks trackers, and then we also have darkness for Umbra trackers. So yeah, you have, and also there's aqua here, so there's also water, which is aqua. Wow, surprising. And notice, each of them has a different BGM. This is really cute. And of course, if you have dupes, exactly the same case as with the artifacts in Honkai Star Rail, you can upgrade them. Here I have this one upgraded already to like 4-star, as in 4 times upgraded. And you also see the stats that each of the artifact grants. This one has basic HP and basic attack, 50 and 142 respectively. It's called Bubbles. Okay, then we have the trackers. That's the characters here. I have one important thing. When you begin the game, I can't remember how many times, but I think you can roll for the first 10 pool 20 times. And what is really, really nice about Stella Sora is that you can save several copies of your latest 10 pool. So it's not like, for instance, with Epic 7, where I think you can store only 1 or 3, I don't remember exactly. But I think the most I've seen in general was only being able to store one 10 pool as your potential best next. And in some other gacha games, I've also seen, I can't remember what it was, but it was one another where I saw you can save only 1. And also, if you don't actually save and load and use that one saved, so either the current or the saved one, then the last one will be the last accepted one. That is absolutely not what Stella Sora does. It gives you several slots for the initial 20 rounds of 10 pulls. And you can also swap slots. So for instance, you see, okay, you have a 5-star. You definitely want to have at least one 5-star. I haven't seen more than one. Like here, for instance, I have Mystique. I haven't seen in all of those 20 pools, I haven't seen more than one 5-star. But I've seen one 5-star and like 3 or so 4-stars, for instance. And so in general, you can just say, okay, I'm going to pick up the first one that has a 5-star and then fill up the roster of my saved roles. And then you can just say, okay, I have a better one. I'm just going to swap in. And when you exhaust all of them, you can still say, okay, I'm going to select one of these or the current last rolled. So it's very flexible when it comes to the initial 10 pool. You can definitely customize quite a lot. And what is also important is that you have these cards, as I showed you. Oh, sorry, cards are also in Umamusume Pretty Derby. There you also have cards. But yeah, but you can also, for instance, say, oh, maybe I don't necessarily want like a super strong 5-star. I want decent 4-stars and without dupes, and then also decent cards to go with this, right? That's also an option. But basically, that's the trackers. All of the most of the gameplay is actually here, as you can see here, going into Ascension. That, as far as I know, are the missions. Then you have some bounty trials that I haven't personally done yet. And also, very similar to Blue Archive, you have the story mode, where you kind of go through, well, I mean, the story mode essentially just progress for like a visual style novel and basically explore with the characters, what kind of adventures they go through, and get a little more familiar with the overall story of Stella Sora. Okay, we're going to be doing some pulls now. We're going to recruit. I still have some leftover currency from the previous, because I think when you start, you do get quite some currency to begin with. So it's not only the initial 10 pool you get, but you also do get some currency here. We, for instance, have still Stose on the limited banner, but we also have several other banners. What I found quite interesting here. So first up, a lot of people have been complaining. I'm gonna move myself again. A lot of people have been complaining about the cost of the currency. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. Supposedly in the beta it was 1500, here it's 3000, which is quite a lot, to be honest. But what I also noticed is that when you do pulls on the other banners, you start getting these notes here. You start getting the gold discs that you can use as certificates. Here's an explanation. Certificate used for recruiting in limited disc banner. So basically that one here. I don't know whether you can also buy it with currency or real money. I haven't done it myself. But you also have the basic banner, the standard banner, and I think these are, yes, these are the discs for the standard banner. I'm going to be doing a pull. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we get only one 4-star. Most of these are just dupes, so not exactly great. I'm just gonna skip. And we got... oh, that's interesting. That's actually a useful one. We got what seems to be Mystique's disc. Is that the case? I'm gonna check this later. What else do we get? Oh, we got... yeah, so if you have dupes, these automatically get converted to upgrade items for your existing cards, as you can see here. Unsurprisingly, I ran out of all of the current silver discs to do the card pulls. I am not very far into the game, and I haven't actually been playing any of the betas, but I do have an impression that since you are earning discs via regular pulls on the character banners, I do get an impression that it might be that the discs are actually way more important than the characters, but I haven't played long enough to actually confirm this, and I've also not seen anyone mention this literally anywhere. With Uma Musume, for instance, that is quite clear. People do mention this very often in the guides, that the cards are more important than the characters. And obviously, if you have one strong character and you have, multiple copies of really good cards, then yeah, that is not surprising. I'm more of a character collector, so I always prioritize characters to the detriment of having an easier time in the game. It is what it is. Alright, we're gonna be doing now a pull on the standard banner. The animation is really cute. Alright, let's see here. So yeah, so we're opening the door of our van here. I'm trying to remember. I think gold means 4-star is the highest, and if it's purple to rainbow, it means 5-star. Okay, let's see. And no luck. Oh my god. Okay, let's see who we got. And yeah, and basically the same as with Honkai Star Rail and a lot of other... Not with Uma Musume, because there you always get horses on the character banners, but here, the same as in Honkai Star Rail, you only ever get the artifact cards, even on the character banner. Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of this, but perhaps they did something a little different in Stella Sora, so... As I said, that is just a first impressions video. And then we have a dupe of Jinlin. Alright, does it get? Yeah, it got converted to some crystals here for her. And we have a new character. Oh, sorry, no. We only get one character and the rest are the discs. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Okay, I mean, do I want to skip the animation? No. Alright, let's see again. Come on, man. Okay, one important thing. I noticed that sometimes the animation actually gets stuck and for some reason stops being responsive, and that was very apparent. Oh, nice. And that was very apparent during the 20 pulls, where sometimes if it got stuck and you skipped it, the next pull wouldn't really play, like it would just automatically instantly skip. So I'm guessing there's quite a lot of these like very tiny bugs that they still need to iron out. But yeah, you can, if it gets stuck, like don't worry, you can just press skip at the top right corner and it's just gonna proceed without issues. I don't know if it's like a problem with the animation or something, but yeah. And we do get Nanoha. That's very cute. Okay, I'll skip for this one. Okay, nice, another 5-star. That is great. I'm gonna check later if I have like a disc for her. Do we? Oh, we didn't get any discs. That is weird. Okay, apparently there is still some things I need to learn here. And we have more pulls here, more tickets for the event banner. Now, do we want to pull or do we not want to pull? You guys saw the tryout. I kind of like the character, but I'm also not super convinced. But then again, it's going to be at least 14 days until we get the next character banner, so I'm not super sure. Yeah, or let's just go with it. Let's just spend all of it straight away. YOLO. Was it the worst thing possible? Alright, let's do this. What do you guys think? Do we get her? No. Oh, but we get a new character. Okay, we get Carmo. So we get the gold discs on the main banner. When? Always. 30 per pool. So for 110 pool, you do get a couple of them. Okay. 300, well, I mean, a couple of them. You need to do Yes, you heard it. 200 pulls in total. Oh boy, man. It's not exactly cheap, right? Yeah, I think all of the pools where you don't have tickets where you need to spend, unfortunately, all of them are going to be 3,000. So that is not exactly great. On the other hand, a lot of people are complaining, and hopefully that changes. But let's see. I hope people with a little more reach, or you know, who have been in the gacha game community longer and have more reach, that they can motivate the developers to change this eventually. Especially that in the beta they had 1,500 for a 10 pool. And it's just unfair, you know, when the game release just automatically increased this twofold. Now, if they, for instance, said, okay, 1,500 is too low, let's do like 1,800 or 1,600, I think people would complain, but eventually get used to it. But here, if they just like doubled the amount needed for a 10 pool, that is just not nice. Okay, what else we got? We got Rich. Oh, that's rich. Alright. Okay, and that is basically it. Yeah, I could theoretically spend. Could I buy more tickets? Let's see. Oh yeah, no, obviously not. I unfortunately don't have this much currency, and I am not seeing any events I could unlock here. So yeah, no more pools for me. Big sad. I'm gonna show you guys how the disc upgrade works, but again, not super surprising, I would say. You go here to the bottom, you have two extra upgrades, you max out, and that's basically it. It does upgrade the main stat, as you can see, but it also increases the bonus that the disc gives. So here now to a total of 12% aqua damage more, and we can do this with all the other discs as well. Go crescendo and upgrade them. I'm actually curious for the characters, so I'm gonna leave these guys alone here. And I'm kind of curious with the characters. Do we have enough crystals to upgrade any of the characters? I think I did get quite a bit for Jinlin, for instance. Let's see where we can upgrade her. Oh, I think we can. Yes, there it is. Okay, so it seems like it's 6 per upgrade, kind of. And do I want to? Yes, I do want to spend all of it. And we are done here, yes. And we've then basically, do notice you need a lot of dupes actually. So what we did so far, we've upgraded only the first skill. And in order to unlock the next one, you need, yes, you got it right, you need 10 times 6, so you need 2 copies. You need 2 extra copies. So as you can see here, we have 5 skills, 2 copies. I have a feeling that might be, I want to say that's more than in Blue Archive, but on the other hand, I do remember that for 3 stars, when you, I think you used to get like 6 units, 6 crystals of the character per pool. Or 5, no sir, I think it might have been 5 actually. So you actually do need way more do need way more copies to actually upgrade them. But here it's 60 per one, so it's two copies, another 2 copies. So that's 6, let's say 10. Okay, that's not entirely bad, I would say. It's not bad at all. Okay, yeah, and that's basically it. I showed you guys a little bit how the game looks like, what features it has, and yeah. So far I'm actually very happy. I like the gameplay a lot. I will definitely be playing Stella Sora, even more than I've been probably playing Blue Archive, because even though I'm quite far into this story, I've been really playing it kind of like on and off more than anything, and you know, doing dailies and everything, but rather not progressing much into the story. I was mostly doing the standalone stages, so let's see how they handle this with Stella Sora, whether they're gonna mix it up a little bit, or you're really just gonna keep as it is here, the story entirely separate forever. But yeah, I'm kind of curious. Latest release, Chapter 1, Chapter 3 is coming out very, very soon. So I'm super looking forward to this. But that is basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are gonna be playing Stella Sora as well. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Mata ne!